Hello students, welcome you back to the science class. I hope you all are doing good. Right students? So dear students, as you all know that these days we are doing the chapter heat. Right? So today in this video we shall be discussing the most important part of this chapter, that is transfer of heat. Okay? So we shall be discussing the topic transfer of heat, okay, under the heading heat, and we shall be discussing about the three different modes of heat transfer, that is conduction, convection and radiation. Clear students? So before getting into the depth of these topics, let us recapitulate what we have done in the previous video. So in our previous class we have discussed about the thermometer. I hope you remember. We have discussed about temperature, we have discussed about thermometer, we have discussed about the different types of thermometers. Yes, the different types of thermometers like the clinical thermometer, then the laboratory thermometer, and there was one more thermometer, that was that digital thermometer. So regarding the digital thermometer, in that digital thermometer, mercury is not used. Okay, that is only the special characteristic of that. Mercury is not used in the digital thermometer. Okay, and then we have discussed the different scales, okay, the different scales of measurement. So all those things we have discussed in the previous class. So today we shall be discussing about the heat transfer. Is that clear? So before that, let us check the objectives. So the objectives are to make the students understand about the transfer of heat, to make the students aware of sea breeze and land breeze, to make the students understand about the three modes of heat transfer, that is conduction, convection and radiation. So dear students, let's start our class with these three probing questions. Okay? So the first question is, when we heat one end of a pen, why the other end gets heated? So this is one probing question. Do you have any answer to that? I asked you that when we heat one end of a pen, why the other end also gets heated? What is the answer? So answer would be, it is due to the transfer of heat. But here is one process involved that we will discuss in detail later on. Okay? So what is that process? Can you tell me? That is nothing but conduction. Alright? So the next question is, while boiling water in an utensil, okay, please try to understand the question. While boiling water in an utensil, we only heat the bottom of the utensil, but the water at the top also gets heated. Why? Yes, that is another probing question. You must have seen, right? You must have seen that when we boil water, we used to heat the bottom of the utensil. Okay, and then we find that water is boiling, and the top of the top surface of the water also gets heated. What is the reason behind it? Definitely, it is due to the heat transfer. But how? That is also another question. So we shall try to find out the answer to these questions via all these explanations. Okay, children? So here also there is one process which is involved, that is called convection. Now what is convection? How does it occur? I shall be discussing little late. Alright? And the third question is, how does the transmission of the heat from the sun to earth occur? So see children, when we go out in sun, yes, we feel very hot. Okay, we feel very hot, isn't it? So have you wondered why this happens? So this question's answer also we will find out. I mean to say, here is also one process involved, that is radiation. So all these three different modes of transfer of heat we shall be discussing in details one by one. So let us start with the first mode of heat transfer, that is conduction. Alright, so let us see what is conduction. Now, as the topic says, transfer of heat means what? Transferring of heat. Okay, transferring of heat from the hotter region to the colder region, or you can say from hot area to the cold area. Alright, so that is transfer of heat. we know that heat gets transferred from the hotter region to the colder region. Is that clear? But how? There are different processes. So first is conduction. Let us discuss that. Now, what is conduction? So children, in conduction, or you can say conduction is the mode of heat transfer in which, so you can just look at this drawing, okay, in which the energy is get transferred from one molecule to the another molecule without the involvement of the movement of this molecule. Can you see the drawing? You see, the molecules are very much nearer, very much closely packed to each other, but only energy is get transferred. Alright, so this way the energy, the energies get transferred from one molecule to the another molecule in case of conduction. So conduction basically occurs in solids. Okay, it basically occurs in solid. But too also on those solid which are good conductor of heat, it cannot occur in the solid like wood, plastics. Alright, so we can say that conduction is the process of heat transfer from the hotter end of an object to the colder end. Okay, in which the movement of molecules are not involved. Is that clear? So this is the definition of conduction. So let us take an example. All right. So the example, suppose we keep a pan over the flame. All right. After some time, we will find that the handle of the pan also gets heated. We will not able to touch the handle of that pan. Why? Because the heat is get transferred from the base of the pan to the handle. Okay. Here in that entire process is nothing but conduction. So conduction takes place. The heat gets conducted from the base of the pan till the to the handle. Okay, so that is conduction. Clear, students? So now this process we can understand by performing one activity. Clear? Let's look the activity. So now students, let's do the activities. Okay. First we will start with the conduction. So now for this activity I have taken one knife, alright, and then these 4 pins which are fixed with the wicks. Now what we are going to do is we will put this knife, its one end on this flame, and then we'll check the result. So we will see that we are going to check the heat transfer, okay. It's a time-taking experiment. See, so the heat, you can see that one pin has fallen down. Okay, we'll see the result and then we will discuss. We shall explain. The second one has fallen down. Now in this activity what we have seen is that, children, the tip of this knife, it's heated, okay. We have heated that, and then gradually we have seen, the pins which are fixed here in the knife, it is falling one after the another. Okay, we can see that the pin has fallen one after the another. And it is conveying that, okay, you have seen all the pins have fallen down. This is the activity which is confirming us that conduction has taken. This tip, it is heated and the heat has transferred from this hotter region to the colder end. So we can see that first one pin has fallen down, then again the second one, then the third one. Now there is no pins. That means what? The heat has transferred from this end till here. So this activity has confirmed that conduction occurs basically in the solid things, that too also in conductors. Okay, I think you have understood that. And here we have seen that the heat transfer occurs from molecule to molecule. Okay, so I hope you have understood the activity related to the conduction, children, and you have seen how the heat has got transferred from the hotter region to the colder. Fine. So let's look the definition. So conduction, the process of transferring of heat from the hotter end to the colder end of an object, is known as conduction. Whenever an utensil is kept on flame, it becomes hot and the heat travels from the base of the utensil to its handle. So this is due to the transfer of heat from the hotter base of the utensil to cold handle. So children, you can see a drawing on the slide. That is the pen. Okay, that is a hot pen, which is heated at the base, and the heat is get transferred from this base to the colder end, that is to the cold handle. Okay, so now let's discuss the second mode of heat transfer, that is called convection. Okay, now what is this convection? So convection is the process of heat transfer, okay, in which the heat gets transferred from the hotter region to the colder region by the movement of the particles. Here there is one difference, means here that particle movement involves, okay, occurs, we mean to say. So here the heat is get transferred from one area, from hotter region to the colder region by the movement of particles of the substance. Okay, so convection occurs in both liquids and gases. Alright, now this we can explain with the help of an example. So before that, just look here. You can see this, I have made a small diagrammatic presentation. Here you see the energy, that is the heat energy, it gets transferred from the hotter region. Okay, the heat energy gets transferred from the hotter region to the colder region along with the movement of the particles. The particles are carrying the energy. Okay, and the movement of these particles occurs in the process of convection, which was quite opposite of conduction. In conduction, what happened? The molecules, they were not moving. Only the energy gets transferred from one molecule to the another one. Yes, but in case of convection, what happened? The molecules itself, along with the energy, it moves. Okay, it moves from the hotter area to the colder region. Clear, students? So now this convection, to understand this convection, let us take an example. The example would be boiling of water. So you see, students, when we boil water, okay, suppose this is the beaker, okay, so this is the container and we are boiling the water. So what happens actually, when we, this pot, okay, when water is there, so what happens actually, when we heat the base of the pen, okay, we heat the base of the pen, the heat gets transferred from this particular hotter region to the water, alright, and the molecules which are present near the base of this beaker, or you can say the container, okay, in the container, it gets heated up and it becomes, now the molecules here, it gets heated up and it expands and it becomes lighter. Okay, it becomes lighter and it starts to rise up. So water rises up due to the expansion of this molecule. So this molecule which are nearer to this particular region, they acquire heat and they expand, they become lighter and they starts to rise up and it creates a vacuum here. Alright, after that, the cold water from the side occupies the space left by heated water. So what happens when this water, this particular, the water present in this particular region, when it becomes hot, it rises up. Alright, so it creates a vacuum, as I said. So simultaneously, the cold water from the side, okay, the cold water from the side, it occupies this area, the space it occupies. Alright, the space it occupies, again it gets heated, again it rises up, it transfers the heat here, again it gets cold, again it comes down, heated, and then rises up. So like this, it sets a convection cycle. Okay, it sets a convection cycle, and this is how the water gets heated. So this is a very good example of convection. Clear, students? So to understand this and to show this process, we shall be doing now one activity. Okay, so let's enjoy. For this, we have to take cold water in a beaker. And then hot water. Then we'll add some color to it. We will try to keep flip water, cold water at the top of this beaker. Okay. Now we will look the difference as we remove the card. We can see, children, that the hot water being lighter, it's rising up. Yes, can you see that? So this is the convection mode of heat transfer in water. You can see the hot water has risen up. Yes, as it is lighter. So when we will remove the card fully, we will find the color of the water has totally changed. So this is the convection mode of heat transfer in liquid. So this was the activity related to convection. So let's look the definition. Convection, the method of transferring heat by the movement of particles of substance away from the source of heat, is known as convection, and it takes place only in liquids and gases. On heating the water, the part of it near the flame gets heated up and expands, due to which it becomes less dense and consequently rises up. I think you have seen also in the experiment. I'll be showing one experiment to you. There you will find that the water being lighter, okay, it rises, the hot water being lighter, it rises up. This creates a vacuum, and the cold water from the sides slides down to occupy the space near the flame. This water also gets heated up and rises. Again the cold water slides down. So it is like a cycle that continues again and again until and unless the entire water is heated up. So convection can be very well explained by boiling of water. Means we can take the example of heating of water to explain the phenomena that is called convection. So on the slide you can see the drawing is given like heating the base of pen. You can see the flame, okay. The flame is heating the base of the pen. So as a result, what happened? The water close to the flame gets heated up and then it rises. Alright. And then next what happens? The cold water from the side occupies the space left by heated water. I am reading the drawing, students. So the cold water from the side occupies the space left by heated water. So the cold water which is present at the side, okay, it comes and it occupies that space. Clear? So I hope you have understood the activity, students. The convection current, okay, the convection current you have understood. the phenomena, or you can say the process of convection. You understood how the heat get transferred by the movement of the molecules from hotter region to the colder region. Is that clear? Now you know, students, this convection current, it is also responsible for setting off the sea breeze and land breeze. I think you are aware of these two terms. Yes, you must have got it in your SST. So the land breeze and sea breeze also, these also occurs due to the convection current only. Okay. Now let us discuss how it occurs. Now children, let's discuss about the sea breeze. Okay. Now sea breeze means what? It's the breeze or the air which blows from the sea towards the land. But how it occurs? Okay. So what happens during the daytime? So always remember, sea breeze occurs during the daytime. Okay. During the daytime, what happens, you know, children? The land gets heated up faster than the water. Alright. As we all know, land gets heated up faster than the sea. So now the moment when this land gets heated, the air which is present above this area, it becomes hot and it rises up. Okay, it rises up and it creates a vacuum here. And this air, no, it rises up, it goes up, and the cold air which was above the sea, it comes and take this, or you can say occupies this area. So this is how the convection current is set, and as a result, the sea breeze occur. Means the sea breeze means from the sea. You can see here in the drawing, very nicely it is given. From here, the sea breeze, it goes towards the land. Alright, because the hot air rises up, it moves upward, and the air, okay, the air which was present, the cold air which was present above the sea level, it comes and takes the place. You can see there is a cyclic process. Okay, this is nothing but the convection current, and this convection current only results in the sea breeze. I hope you understood this sea breeze. Yes. Now let us look what is land breeze. Means during the night time, this land breeze occur during the night time. Now during the night time, what happens, students? This land gets it gets cool very quickly. Okay, it gets cold very quickly, and the air above it becomes heavier and dense. But on the other side, since the sea was still, the sea is still warm, the air which is present just above the sea, it is hot and it rises up. It rises up and again it moves towards the land. Can you see the arrows? It moves towards the land, and the cold or the dense air from the land area, it again takes the place, it occupies the vacant area here. Alright, so you can see the direction of the blowing of the wind. You see land breeze. So land breeze blowing from land to the hotter sea. So from here, okay, since it's the dense air, okay, so this air, this is the land, from the land it is blowing, that's why it is land breeze blowing from the land towards the hotter sea, as because the hot air has risen up. So this way also it is setting a convection current, and as a result the land breeze is occurring. I hope you understood this. Yes, it is clear, I think, land breeze and sea breeze. Okay.
The first drawing is about sea breeze. Okay. So the sea breeze occurs during the daytime. So you can see very well in the drawing, during the daytime the lands get heated faster, and the air above the land, it becomes lighter and it rises up and it creates a vacuum there. And the other side, over the sea, okay, the air, it becomes dense and cold. So this cold air, during the daytime, it rushes towards the land area to occupy the vacant space. So this is how the sea breeze, the sea breeze originates, and the sea breeze going towards the land. So this is the diagram which shows that sea breeze is going towards the land. Okay. So the next drawing is about the land breeze. This drawing is about the land breeze. So during night time, as you can see in the drawing, during the night time, what happened? The land gets cold very faster. Okay, and then the air above the land, it becomes dense. Okay, it becomes dense and cold. Clear? And whereas the air above the sea, it is hot. Okay, it rises up, it creates a vacuum there, and then what happened? The cold air from the land region, now it rushes towards the sea, so it sets the land breeze. So this drawing is showing land breeze blowing from land to hotter sea. Okay students, I hope this is clear.
So children, I hope you have understood what is land breeze and sea breeze. Yes. So sea breeze occurs during the daytime, remember that, and land breeze occurs during the night time, and it is due to the convection current. Okay. Now let's discuss the last mode of heat transfer, that is radiation. Okay. Now what is this radiation? So before that, let us get back to the example or to the first, the questions which we have discussed at the very beginning of this session. Okay, so there was one question about the heat transmission. Okay, heat transmission of the sun, the heat transmission of the sun towards the earth. You know that occurs due to the process called radiation. So the sun radiates its heat, okay, and it reaches to the earth. Clear? So this radiation is the process where a medium is not required to transfer the heat. That differentiates it from the other two mode of heat transfer. So we have seen in conduction we need the medium, that is solid, we need the medium, conductor, any conductor, okay, any conductor is the medium in that case. And in case of convection we have seen either liquid is the medium or the gas is the medium. But in case of radiation, there is no need of medium. Then how this energy transfer occurs? So this energy transfer occurs due to some waves. Okay, some electromagnetic waves. You can see students here in the drawing. So this radiation, the radiation occurs due to this electromagnetic waves. A kind of waves are released, okay, and which helps in the transfer of this energy, the heat energy. Is that clear? So you can take some different examples like, if suppose you some heated utensil you take. Suppose some utensil which we heat, okay, and then we bring it down, we put it down from the flame and we keep it aside. Then after some time, what will happen? We will find that the utensil has become cold. Okay, it has become cold. Why? Because it has radiated the heat to the surroundings. Okay, so this is the example. And sometimes you can see the fire also radiates. So you cannot stand very nearer to the fire. Why? Because it radiates heat. Okay, heat and light. Yes. Likewise, suppose there is a candle. Okay, even the candle also it radiates the heat. Okay, but little amount of heat. That we will be proving by one activity. Okay, so let's enjoy the activity again. So now the last activity is related to radiation. Okay, so for this I have taken one candle. Okay, so here, as we have discussed that fire or this candle, okay, everything it radiates heat. Okay, now we have to prove that whether it is really radiating the heat. So now for that, what we have done, we have taken this lighted candle, and this is the polythene paper. Okay, this is the polythene paper, and then I'll try to bring it near. Let us see what will happen. Now just observe the polythene paper, okay, what happens to it. So you see, the paper, it is melting. Okay, it's melting. When I bring it nearer to the flame, it is not burning, it's melting. Okay, it's melting. Why? Because the heat is radiated. Okay, because the heat is radiated from the candle flame. That is why we can see that the polythene paper is melting. Okay, so this was a very simple experiment related to the radiation. Okay, so let's look the definition.
Radiation. Radiation is a form of energy transport consisting of electromagnetic waves traveling at the speed of light. So you can see, students, the phenomena to occur, it does not require any medium. Okay, the heat gets transferred due to the electromagnetic waves. Clear? So there are some common examples given on the screen. You can see the examples. So the third picture you can see there a person is sitting near the fire. Yes. For what purpose he is sitting near the fire? In order to get the heat. So the fire is radiating the heat. So this is a very good example of radiation.
So dear students, I hope you have understood about radiation also. Yes. So with this we have nearly come to the end of the session. But before that, let us check one comparative account between conduction, convection and radiation.
So now let's discuss about differences between conduction, convection and radiation. So before we discuss the definitions, children, just have a look onto the screen. You can see that while boiling the water, all the three processes are simultaneously occurring. Okay, all the three processes means all the different modes of heat transfer, they are occurring simultaneously. Just look it down near the flame area. There you can see the flame. Over the flame, the pan is kept, and then the flame is radiating heat, and the process of radiation is occurring there. Yes, and this radiations, you can see the flame is heating the lower part of the base of the pan, and then the base gets heated. From that base, okay, the heat gets transferred to the handle. Okay, that is the process of conduction occurring, and simultaneously the water is also getting boiled. Okay, and the process of convection is occurring there. So all the three things are occurring together. So it's a very wonderful example. Okay, now conduction is the transfer of heat energy by direct contact. Convection is the movement of heat by actual motion of matter. Radiation is the transfer of energy with the help of electromagnetic waves.
So with this, we have come to the end of today's session. So before that, let us summarize what all we have discussed today. Okay, so today in this session we have discussed about transfer of heat. Okay, the transfer of heat from the hotter region to the colder region. Clear? And under that we discussed the three different modes of heat transfer. The first was conduction. Okay, in conduction the heat gets transferred from hotter region to the colder region, in which molecule movement is not involved. Okay, and then we discussed about convection. In convection, what happened? The heat transfer takes place with the movement of the particles. Alright, and we discussed about radiation, that in case of radiation the heat transfer occurs due to the electromagnetic waves. The medium is not required here. Yes. So we have discussed, we have done some of the activities related to all these three modes of heat transfer for the better understanding. Yes. So we discussed about the land breeze and sea breeze. Okay. I think you all have understood the session. So I wind up for today. Thank you so much for listening to me. Stay safe, stay healthy. Goodbye.